My name is Isaac Campos, and what is your name?
Sergio Campos,
And how old are you?
a whole big 43.
43. Alright. What is your major, and what do you like about it?
My major is actually general studies with an emphasis in applied fire science degree. What I like about it? Well, it relates to my job. Basically, first and foremost, I'm a firefighter, so the applied fire science degree helped out for that part. Whereas the general studies was pretty universal, so I can fit it to any kind of other degree that I wish that I'm going to pursue here in the future as far as my bachelor degree goes.
And what is your job, actually?
Fire department, firefighter.
What are you in the fire department?
I'm an assistant chief, and that's pretty much it.
What are good ways to stay involved when you are in college?
Well, you have different kinds of clubs, organizations. You have obviously you got study groups. You can go to the gym, stay physically fit. Most universities, most colleges have a fitness center available to you. You have such things like debate teams. You have student basically tutoring. You can either receive tutoring. You can also give tutoring. You have different things, speech teams, writer teams. You have all these kind of different things that keep you active in your academics as well as off non-academics as well.
How do you balance all of your classes, studying and work?
A lot of nights with little to no sleep. But remember, it's just temporary. So really having a job, school, and everything all at the same time, it's a lot of pressure on a person. And the bottom line is, you end up staying up late hours and have little sleep.
Is there anything you wish you knew about college before you went?
Well, I took biology, and I wish I would have known chemistry, because there was a lot of chemistry in biology, and I unfortunately didn't take chemistry in high school, so it was pretty rough, that I will say. And then the other thing, probably the cost of books, astronomical.
What advice would you give someone in high school who wants to go to college?
I'd say it's not easy at all, first of all, and then I consider it winning. It's like winning the lottery. I think I've mentioned this before to you time and time again. The only difference is that you have to work many years in order to get paid at the end. But it's not going to be easy. It's definitely the best advice I can give. Again, was just like winning the lottery, but you have to work to get paid at the end. And I always say this, but you know what? Anything is possible with Christ. So you'll do good.
What are some common misconceptions that people have about college?
I think the misconceptions are probably going to be that it's going to be easier for several reasons. Because I think when you're young like that, you think that you're not going to have your parents, especially if you go off, to university. You're not going to have your parents putting the pressure on you, so you think it's going to be a lot easier because you don't have that involved in your life. A lot of times I think the misconception is that things are going to be easier because you're treated like an adult now. You don't have the old, I don't know, you don't have somebody, always on your back and so forth, telling you to turn things in and so forth. So the misconception is that it's actually harder when you don't have them things available. You don't have somebody pushing you. You don't have somebody on your back all the time. So in turn, you have to end up taking a lot of responsibility that you're probably not used to.
How do professors teach differently in college than in high school?
It's got, I think, a switch on, gas on, hold on effect. Meaning, they start their lectures. You don't have. They don't. It's not. I wouldn't say there are some courses with interaction, but you're expected to learn and take everything in as the professor is giving their lecture. You're expected to take your own notes and so forth. There's no timeouts. So pretty much like an adult learning environment. You don't have all the no pauses, no second chances. You don't have the immaturity sometimes of students who like to, play jokes and so forth in class. So it's an adult environment. You go in, you're expected to listen to lectures, take your own notes, learn, and then take it from there.
Which programs at your school have the best reputation?
I would say probably Associates of Arts and Science degrees. Associates of Arts and Science degree like biology, chemistry. You have interdisciplinary studies, mathematics. They have a good Associate Applied Science degrees like aviation science, business management. They also have a very good online degree or online program as well. They do tailor quite a bit as well to the military, the veterans, and so forth. Not only on their campus, but they have campuses throughout the world, actually.
What were your favorite kinds of classes to take?
I like college algebra. It's the only thing to do is do math. Ironically, I liked biology as well. Even though I struggled with the chemistry, I still came out okay, but I found it very interesting. I learned a lot.
How do you stay organized for class?
I think the best thing to do is probably get a good notebook and make sure you get a good syllabus from all your courses, and you make sure that you have a section in your notebook for each one of them. So anytime you go to class, you'll know where you're at, what's expected of you. You can make notes on any kind of homework and so forth that you have due for whatever day it is on your syllabus. So when you get back to your room or whatever, wherever you do your studies and so forth, that way you're on track and you know exactly where you're supposed to be. The thing you have versus what I didn't have, and that's technology. And you have your iPhones, you have all these calendars, all these different applications now that you can use to keep you organized. From simple making a notepad on there to actual calendar that's got times and dates and where you're supposed to be at the next day. Alarm notices. I mean, it notifies. It pretty much does everything for you. So there's no reason why in your world today you should not have somewhere or somehow to stay organized.
What are tests and papers like for your classes?
Let's see. I think the difference between my high school or what tests and papers were like, I think, we had a lot of research papers. Every course had research papers, term papers. So, whereas in high school you didn't have that all the time. You might have had one as a junior, you might have had one as a senior. The tests are straight and narrow. I mean, you pretty much, a lot of them were, I took a lot of tests via computer, electronic tests, so I just think that obviously it's a higher education, so they were definitely a lot harder. That's pretty much it, I think.
How did you choose your major?
Well, I chose my major based on my job, based on my employment or my career as an assistant chief in the fire department. I actually did not start college until after I was already in the fire department. So I've centered my major on a fire science degree, which relates a lot to the fire department. But in the end, they didn't have a strict fire science degree. From the college that I was at, they had some. So I had to center on the general studies side. So that's how I chose it, was based on the fact of my career, which was the fire department. And then in turn, I also knew that I was going to further my education, get my bachelor's later. And I knew that general studies, the courses that I took pretty much there, the courses I did take, I would be able to transfer them to a bachelor's degree program and maybe an emergency management degree or any other degree involving relating to emergency services.
How did you know it was the right one?
Well, I knew it was the right one because I definitely I love